Question for the coach and the players. Please identify yourselves and the agency that you are with. That will help those watching at home understand who is in the room with us. Who would like our first question of the Clemson Tigers, as we've got about 14 minutes with them here in the room? Got our first question that will come first row just to our team's right.
This is John Blau with the Post-Courier in Charleston. Brad, obviously in college sports you replace players every year, but a player like Amir Sims, just everything they did for you guys, I mean, how much more of a challenge is it trying to find roles for guys and gel a team around these new pieces?
Yeah, Amir was a significant loss. Terrific player who had an unbelievable career at Clemson. And, you know, as much as the points and rebounds, it was his personality. It was the way he approached practice every day, his work ethic, his smile, his personality. It just rubbed off on everyone. So, you know, we're going to miss a lot about him. Obviously, there's not one player that you're going to go recruit or sign that's going to be like him. But I do think we have brought in some guys like Nas here and David Collins that are experienced and older players, and we've got a guy like Hunter Tyson who's been in our program for 4 years and understands our culture and what's important to Clemson to win and be successful. And these guys have been very open and you know, they really get along well. And I think that, you know, in terms of the productivity, it'll be a bunch of different guys. P.J. Hall getting an opportunity to play, you know, center full-time for us. But it'll be a bunch of different guys contributing to the points and rebounds. I think the attitude, the personality part, is just going out and getting good guys, and we've done that. We've gotten guys that like each other, that are respectful of the older players. I think our young guys are very respectful of the older players. We just have very good, you know, we have a good morale. We have a good feeling in our program and team, and some of that's because of the guys like Amir Sims.
Let's stay on the first row to your left.
Dan Tortora, wakeupcalldt.com. Coach Earl Grant is back here inside of the ACC over at BC. Just what you can say about your time that you got to spend with him at Clemson and what he brings to the ACC as a head coach now.
Yeah, I'm obviously a big fan of Earl's. You know, when I took the job, I was looking for somebody from South Carolina to help coach, talk to a lot of different folks, and you know, he was a name that kept coming up. And then to have the opportunity to work with him for several years and spend time and understand, you know, just how good a person he is. Tremendous family man, great man of integrity, unbelievable basketball knowledge and competitor. He'll do great things at BC. I'm happy for him, happy for Jackie, his family. You know, it'll be hard to coach against him. It won't be fun. But I'm happy that he's had success in the profession. It doesn't surprise me, and I think he'll do good things at Boston College.
To the right, all the way in the back near the cameras.
Brad, Will Pelagic from WFNZ in Charlotte. You obviously know where this program was when you took it over. What does it mean to you with how far the program has come that you can kind of dip into the portal and get a couple of guys who can be projected starters and guys who are high level right away for you?
Yeah, I think we've done a good job over the last decade of you know, building our brand and improving our program, you know, in all areas. You know, the facility improvements that we did, you know, 5 years ago have really started to pay off. I think it shows that Clemson wants to be good in basketball. You know, the first 5 years I was on the job, it was hard. 2 of those years we didn't have an arena, and that's never easy for players in your program. We played a year up in Greenville. There was a lot that went into it, and I think we've worked really hard to build our program, build our brand, develop a culture where kids are you know, having good experiences. We're being productive. We're winning games. We're graduating players. And when you bring in guys like Nas or David Collins on a visit and they get to see what Clemson has to offer, I think it's impressive. They've seen success on the court, you know, Sweet 16 and NCAA tournament teams. They see guys graduating. They see a good place to go to school and get a grad degree like Nas is going to get. And then I think they come around and meet your players and they see you have good guys in the program. And so there's stability, there's a culture of success and work, and hopefully guys like Nas and David, that was a big part of why they chose Clemson.
Nas, from the podium here, you had 1,200 points, 975 rebounds, and 275 assists at Youngstown State. Impressive each season. What's your expectation as a Tiger compared to when you were a Penguin, or given the success that you had as a Penguin?
My expectations as a Tiger is to come in and obviously fit in, play my role, and do everything that I can do to help win. If coach tells me this game we need you to focus on rebound, then I'm going to focus on rebound in that game. If it's passing this game or the next game, he might want me to score a little bit more points. Just fitting in that agenda and doing what coach wants me to do to help the Tigers win.
Let's go back to the front row to the right.
Brad, to follow up on Nas, I think the story goes that you said if you work as hard as everybody says you do, like anything's possible for you, just because of his background.
I'm sorry, I couldn't quite catch that.
In a story that I read from last year, it said that if you work as hard as everyone says you do, anything's possible for you in terms of playing here and your
Yeah.
role and what it can be. How have you seen Nas establish that in terms of his work ethic?
You know what? He's a very good competitor, and he wants to do things the right way. He's been extremely coachable, and he also has a very good presence about him. I mean, he's a grown man that's done a lot. He's been through a lot in his life. He's been through a lot with all he's achieved on the basketball court at Youngstown. So our guys respect that, and as much as anything, our guys respect the way that he treats them and they treat him. And so I think again that gets back to our culture and how I think our kids really like one another. He's going to be fine as a player. That wasn't anything we're worried about. Again, his job and the way we recruit him to do just what he said. He's a guy that's done a lot of different things. He's scored some. He's rebounded a lot. He's passed it. He's made assists. He's going to be a versatile guy that helps us as much with his personality and his maturity and his approach to practice as he is with all that he's going to do on the court. And I think those are the intangibles that maybe aren't sexy, but they're important to winning. And he and David have already brought a maturity level to our team that we needed.
Hunter, you've been on the ACC academic superlative list each year while at Clemson. What is that secret of integrating academic and athletics?
I think that just goes back to how I was raised. Growing up, my parents really instilled a good work ethic into me, and always talked about how important academics was, as well as success on the basketball court, and just working hard in both. So I think that's why I've been able to be named to the ACC All-Academic team several times.
Let's go back to the front row with Dan.
Nas and Hunter, this is for you, and Coach, a follow-up to it as well, if you'd like. Knowing Clemson's success in football, Nas, what made you want to come to the basketball side of things and obviously improve that culture even more? And Hunter, where would you say that culture is with Clemson basketball under Brad Brownell?
For me, I would just say respecting everything that Coach did with the program and going into the portal and researching what it was that I was looking for in the school. I could respect the culture that he had put in place and the staples that the program stood for. So once I got on the phone with Coach Brownell and talking to the assistants like Coach Dean and even meeting some of the guys, it was a no-brainer for me.
Let's go all the way back to WFNZ again, to the right by the tripods.
Brad, looking at your
Oh, I'm sorry.
Hunter's got a little follow-up.
I've only been standing here since 9, so it's totally my fault.
Like you asked about the culture under Coach Brad Brownell. If it's one thing we're going to do, we're going to work hard, and we're going to treat people the right way. So we just try and get better every day. We really focus on ourselves. We don't pay attention to any outside noise, what people might be picking us, talking about us. We really just focus on each other and try and get better every day.
They didn't ask you the question, did they? Okay, good. So all the way to the back, please.
Brad, as far as replacing a couple of guys at the backcourt, how do you go about using, Alamir and Nick and some of your other pieces to try and replace what Clyde had and obviously some of the other guys?
Yeah, Clyde was a good player. He had a very nice senior year and was, getting better and better. Obviously had a major injury his junior year that he had to play with, torn ACL. But, we do have experienced guards. Nick Honor and Alamir Dawes have both made big shots for us. They both hit game-winning shots. They both have been starters. They both have, played a lot of minutes. We played them together some, last year. We may start them this year. I don't know. We'll see. Alex Hemingway is an experienced guy that started a few games and can really shoot the ball. So our experience lies in our backcourt in terms of guys that played. Certainly Clyde is different because he was a bigger wing that really rebounded the ball defensively and took care of the ball and was a really good passer. We tried to address some of that with David Collins, a grad transfer from South Florida who's 6'4" and 215, a big, strong wing, so we thought he could help us a little bit in that area. So, you know, again, we had a really good year last year. Went to the tournament, and a lot of it was because of the Amir Sims and Clyde and Jonathan Bear, our 3 seniors. So those guys are going to be missed, but that opens up opportunities for other guys, and we're hopeful that those guys are ready to take a big step.
Clemson, thank you. Have fun this year.
Okay.
Folks, North Carolina is due up next.